I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. So tell me, how do you feel about the game today, going against the legends?
They have earned that title. Obviously, it's been a long time since, but the country has really been built by a cricketing culture too, amongst many other things. But cricketing culture has been such a big part of who we are as a country and also as a region. And out of these shores, we were able to produce some of the best in the world, and some of the best are playing today. So we've stood. Our society has stood on their shoulders too. We've had many icons coming through the region, Guyana, but also the entire West Indies. We've had many icons. This is a simple way that we felt that it was important to support, honoring a team that won both the Shell Shield as well as the Geddes Grant. First time ever, and I think it's been the first time that has ever happened in the history of cricket too.
So bonus question. Do you think the president will score a maiden 100 today?
It's a T20 match. So, you've got to score really quickly if you're going to get 100. But, I'm one of his biggest supporters too. So I would say he could do anything he sets his mind to.
Thank you very much. How do you feel about the youngsters and the legends playing today?
I think it's excellent. Beyond the game, it is building relationship, building network. It is combining the beautiful talent, exceptional talent of the past with the rising talent of the future. So I think it is good that they get to spend time together. It is good that our legends are still in tip condition, that they can be a part of this game today. And much more than that, it's good for young people to come out and to see those who excel and those who would have done our country and region proud.
So beyond that, I know you really put up a challenge today as part of your team. How do you feel about your team winning this game today? Besides having fun, of course.
Well, I think at the end of the game, both teams will be winners because the very fact that, we're not everyday cricketers,
right.
but for everyone to come out here and to build this relationship, that alone is a win for me. But I think the two teams are balanced, but I think we will have the upper hand.
All right, but President, are you a fan of boxing?
Beautiful fan of boxing.
Oh, great. So I'd like to take this time to tell you that there's a game on April 20th, and two of our very own boxers, Elton Dari is going against Dexter Marquez. That's going to be held at this very ground. So I'm hoping to see you here.
Well, I was at the last boxing event at the National Stadium, so definitely I'll be there.
All right. Who do you think will win that fight?
Well, I have to support the Golden Arrowhead.
All right. Well, they both the Golden Arrowhead.
That's what I'm saying. I have to support the Golden Arrowhead.
All right. So, do you have a message for both boxers?
Well, my message in sports is always discipline, commitment, playing by rules, and giving of your best.
All right. So, when I asked you earlier if you know of the Guyana TV Network, you weren't aware of it, but I'm going to take the opportunity to tell you about it now. So, the Guyana TV Network is streaming this game live.
Okay.
Right? And I'd like to invite you to download that app. It's going to give you entertainment, news, sports.
I'm sure I do that.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye.
All right. Good afternoon, Prime Minister. How are you today?
I am good.
All right.
Today, relaxing and enjoying the atmosphere here at Everest Cricket Ground.
Right.
Everest Sports Ground, sorry.
Right.
As you know, we have the legends here. Some of these guys played cricket 50 years ago. In fact, Sir Clive is here. He started playing cricket when he was 5 years old. Right? And it's more or less an opportunity to interact with them, to honor them, for their contribution to the improvement of the game in Guyana, the West Indies, and the wider world. And of course, you have a match here today. Some youngsters playing again. It's another set of youngsters. One team I can see, the president is with one of the teams here.
The challengers.
The challengers. So the wonderful atmosphere for sports, for cricket lovers, and for friends to come together and enjoy a wonderful Sunday afternoon.
All right, Prime Minister. So I just need to ask you, which team are you on? Who are you backing?
I like both teams, but the team that I'm backing today is the team with the president, the red team. And I don't have to give you any reason why I am backing the team. It's quite obvious. The president is a member of the team.
Of course. So before you go, I have just two more questions. There is a boxing match here on the 20th of April, right? Our very own Elton Dari is going up against Dexter Marquez.
Another Guyanese, two
Guyanese, right. So will you be a part of that show? Will you be a part of that match? Are you coming to
I tell you what, I like boxing. When I was young, I was in the ring a couple of times, amateur. So I'm looking forward once there's nothing big happening that will keep me away from attending that match. I will be there because, of course, it's another opportunity to see two Guyanese greats in the ring.
All right. Do you have
and to support boxing.
Oh, great. Lovely. Looking forward to it.
Yes.
Do you have a message for the two boxers?
Let's have a good show. Don't go in the ring because the two Euro Guyanese and just have fun. We want stiff competition, right? We want a good display of boxing skills, right? Because that's what we are paying and coming to see.
All right, Prime Minister, thank you very much for your comments.
I think it's natural the World Cup is coming to the West Indies. West Indies has made tremendous contribution to global cricket. T20 recently, I would say, is our new brand of cricket. We have some of the most exciting players in T20 cricket. Regardless of where we are in the world standing, West Indian cricketers are the most exciting T20 World Cup players, T20 players around the world. There is no other T20 player that can bring the glamour, the glare, the excitement, and the speed of bat and ball now to T20 cricket than West Indian cricketers. So I think the World Cup coming to the West Indies is a natural home. And I believe that we are in a position to make the West Indian fans very happy. And I strongly believe the West Indies is going to win the World Cup.
Yeah, you actually jumped the gun there because that was the second question. But now that you've said West Indies will win the World Cup, I don't want to ask you who think will be in the final with them. But some of the players you think might have a good impact in this tournament.
Well, I haven't seen the final team as yet, but I think if the Pakistani team play Saim Ayub, then he knows the wickets. I think he has shown in the CPL. He loved this environment. He would be someone to look at. Gurbaz is someone also to look at from Afghanistan. And look at the Afghanistan team. That team has the team has some very good players for these conditions here in the Caribbean. So I think that you will see some exciting players. I believe that the players that will make this World Cup will be some of the less known players, some of the younger players. And there are some very exciting young players that we're seeing now.
And finally, West Indies opening in Guyana as head of state. How do you feel about that? The first game is in Guyana.
Well, listen, Guyanese always supported West Indies cricket. Guyanese are enthusiastic cricket fans. I think it is good that West Indies is starting off here. And I believe that we will lay a solid foundation for them. But much more than a game of cricket here. I think what we are planning to do for cricket as a government and as a people, and sports in general, is revolutionary. The type of investments we are making in grounds and facilities across the country, and now moving towards a cricketing academy, focusing on fast bowling, because you have to look at where world cricket is going. World cricket is going to go into major franchise. It's going to be major franchise cricket. The only way we're going to give youngsters a chance in franchise cricket, and the only way we're going to be a part of franchise cricket is if we have world-class facilities here where people can come from around the world and do spotting. This we have to create an infrastructure and an ecosystem here where we have cricketers from across the region plying their trade here, and where international spotters can come here to do spotting and selection. That is going to be important.
Mr. President, your government has been pushing sport tourism and that One Guyana initiative. How important is activities like this in fulfilling that mandate?
This activity is tremendous to see all our greats and the future on the same field. It is a in the business world, we talk about transfer of knowledge, transfer of technology. This is transfer of experience, transfer of technique, transfer of teamwork, and it's building a network. A lot of these youngsters need some of the older heads, the experienced heads, to rely on and to talk to. And I hope that they use this opportunity to connect with some of these guys and build a relationship, build a network through which they can have counseling, coaching, guidance. And that is what is important from these events. It's not ending today, oh, we had a nice chance coming together, we got to meet some of the greats, and we had a good time together. It is about how do we take this relationship forward and building this relationship. That is what is important.
Yes. And how the body holding up? We saw you look a bit windy to the end there.
Body taking a beating.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Activities for the younger crop coming up, getting to learn from these players and, play alongside them.
I don't think it's just the activity. It's the fact that they were remembered in this way is even more significant, because when our entire society, not just Guyana, but the West Indies, was built on the shoulders of icons, and amongst them were cricketing icons. The cricket culture runs deep throughout the West Indies, and it's something that if you take that element away from our evolution as a society, the entire region is just not the same region anymore. The fact that you can have cricket come from this byproduct of colonialism, originally coming from slavery and indentureship, and then when we adopted the sport as a sport that we wanted to play and dominate, and it gave us an opportunity to beat our former colonial masters too. And it created players coming from different areas of Guyana and the region where they became the best in the world. All players and the entire society of the region, it was built on the shoulders of that cricketing history and the iconic status that many of the former players had built for themselves. It's a remarkable thing when you think about it. I mean, just think about the fact that at that period we were newly independent countries, because Guyana got 1966 is when we became an independent country, and many other countries were around that same period, coming out from the West Indies. And 1975, just 9 years later, a Guyanese representing the West Indies is able to beat all of the other teams playing the World Cup and lifting the trophy at Lord's. And that person eventually became knighted as Sir Clyde Lloyd, who's here today. So I think it's bigger than just the activity. It's bigger than just the activity. It's the fact that we were able to honor the victory that we had in 1983, 41 years since. First time ever the country was able to lift the Geddes Grant and the Shell Shield, which back then was big as CPL. So just imagine what that was like. It's a privilege. It's a privilege to be able to share the same cricketing space, even if it's just by virtue of me holding a position at the moment. Having said that, I did get some runs in the innings, so I'm also happy to see that too.